Someone said to me once, if you would never take advice from these people, then you'd never take their criticisms either. So I certainly wouldn't go to Hank Haney for advice.
Can't even hear this thing.
I know.
She purrs, baby.
The story of the day is obvious. It's Rory McIlroy and his return.
I think the way I've described Pinehurst on Sunday was like it was a great day until it wasn't.
A lot of people were criticizing Rory for not speaking after the debacle at Pinehurst, but I was blown away that today he had one question and then just talked for like 3 minutes, just rattling off every thought that had come from that week.
You know, I did things on that Sunday that I haven't been able to do in the last couple of years. Took control of the golf tournament, held putts when I needed to, well, mostly when I needed to, made birdies, really got myself in there. Yeah, it was a tough day. It was a tough few days after that, obviously. But I think as you get further away from it happening, you start to see the positives. You start to see all the good things that you did throughout the week.
You know, someone who got some answers today, Hank Haney. My man took an absolute broadside from Rory during that press conference.
It's certainly unfair. Hank Haney's never been in that position. Just because Harry's not as vocal or as loud with his words as other caddies, you know, it doesn't mean that he doesn't say anything, that he doesn't do anything. And I just wish that, you know, these guys that criticize when things don't go my way, they never say anything good when things do go my way. So where were they when I won Dubai earlier this year, or Quail Hollow, or the 2 FedEx Cups that I've won with Harry, or the 3 Race to Dubais, or the whatever? So they're never there to say Harry did such a great job when I win, but they're always there to say he did such a, you know, they criticize when we don't win. If you would never take advice from these people, then you'd never take their criticisms either. So I certainly wouldn't go to Hank Haney for advice.
I've heard Rory say that before. It feels like one of his mottos.
I think he has taken criticism from me before, so I should have given him some advice during that presser, but alas. Yeah, I thought it was very interesting to hear him speak in full detail about all of that stuff.
Get closer.
I'm intimidated.
She's
here.
steady. She's pretty steady.
All right. So first and foremost, Steve.
Yep.
What are we looking at here?
This is a female Harris hawk. She is the natural predator to the gulls and pigeons. And a couple of years ago, the gulls started getting a little bit carried away stealing food. So at that point, she was brought in, and the gulls don't like to be lowered down in her. So they won't feed on the ground in case they get ambushed by this one. So that's the logic.
She's the muscle. She's the bouncer here.
Effectively,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, exactly that. That's what she is. She's completely trained to my right pocket. This is where her food is. So as soon as we start doing this, she gets very interested that some food's going to come her way. And that's pretty much the whole game. I'll give her a tiny little bit of chicken. There we go. We use tennis balls quite a lot. They mirror the chicks. So sometimes we play with tennis balls with her and just sort of some fun. So if she did see the ball maybe rolling up on the 18th, and she's a little bit bored, there's a small chance. It's very small, but it's kept me awake a few nights thinking about it. So, yeah, it'd be some drop ball from about 100 foot, put it that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not the birdie that any golfers are looking
Exactly,
for
yeah.
I feel like PGA Tour pros, they like to talk to you when things are going well. I mean, literally, Rory McIlroy refused to talk after Pinehurst because things had not gone well. But Bobby Mack has made an entire career's worth of talking about struggles this year.
I'm more than happy playing the PGA Tour. For me, I'm trying to work out life. To be honest, that's been more the problem, or not the problem, more the difficult side of being in America is more where I want to live, and whether that's in Scotland, in America, we're still trying to work that out.
Did it make it at all easier to play your best golf when you were sharing kind of what you were going through?
Some people think it's going to be easy, you're just going to play golf, and yes, golf, I say it, golf, doesn't matter where you play, good golf takes care of everything. But for me it was more the lifestyle, and I mean, you'll notice it since coming here. The lifestyle is completely different from where you live in the US or wherever it is to back here in Scotland.
I think Bob has learned what we all know already, is that you don't want to live in Orlando, right? No, it's such a homecoming for him, which is sweet, and he's gonna have like the entire tournament behind him. It feels like he feels comfortable now.
When I go back to Oban, I get treated as Bob, one of the boys. I don't get treated as Robert MacIntyre, the golfer, and that's the way it should be.
Wanting to make Florida home for yourself, but also kind of finding a balance there.
Yeah, my rent's up on I think it might be the 30th of August, and I don't think it'll be getting renewed, to be honest.
Really?
Scotland's my home.
Been to a lot of these golf courses, but I haven't been to the center of town in Gullin, where there is a pretty famous Hickory golf club shop. Everyone says you got to go there, you got to stop in. So that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I gave him stuff he probably can't break out.
Yeah.
There's a few hundred Hickory players that come every year.
Tell us a little bit about this place.
Well, everything interesting golf, mostly Hickory. Some persimmons, some hybrid tone, but mostly Hickory.
Why do you think hickories are so popular? I don't know if you really see this in other sports where the relics remain.
Bobby Jones was the only one to win the Grand Slam. He won it with hickories. The Grand Slam was never repeated again, and Bobby Jones built Augusta. And he played a Jack White driver. Not to compare with modern clubs. Every club is a character. And they're 100 years old and still do it. Things here, these are not old, but they're replicas.
Oh my goodness.
But you wouldn't play clubs of that age. They would be 200 years old. So here you use replicas. They are whippy.
Yeah, and that feels like it's just begging for a draw to be hit with it. Just sling in the face.
Follow the head, you know. You're not manipulating it. It's heavier than you.
Even a guy like me might be able to draw with that thing.
Just for the. And then that's the next one, you see.
I'm reading an Agatha Christie novel right now, and the murder was committed with the niblick.
All right, yeah. Well, rod iron is even deadlier. Always sweet spot.
Whoa!
Always sweet spot. See, always in the middle.
Nice.
It's only one middle.
Yeah.
His name is on it. Driving iron.
Oh my goodness.
See that?
When people say butter knife,
that's it.
This is what they're talking about. Oh my god.
And that's the grill. Lane featheries, the best featheries on the planet. Probably the only ones to be playable. In 1915, in the war, there is written down that the council gives 1 count for a golf trophy. You know, in September, golf trophy.
Yeah.
We have money for that.
So you feel like you're part of the history of golf a little bit by having all these.
Well, when you play them, you become that. You know, you dream of what Bobby could have done here. You know, you try that too.